Fantastic, spectacular, incredible, astonishing, and awesome captain is named Torsten. Can we give him an applause, please? Okay, so first order of business, guys, before we start all of the fun. Today we're setting now the first test, the first bridge. Let's see if everybody survives. Hey, everybody survived. Give yourselves an applause. Bravo, bravo. Okay, so far so good. No problem. Beautiful flags, beautiful windows, beautiful doors. Everything looks good. Even the side looks good. Beautiful windows, beautiful door. And then we pass the building. Oh. Yeah, and there's the very famous quote, to believe or not to believe, or as we say here in Denmark, 2 years or not 2 years. Okay, well, I know, another joke can be great, you know. Over here, we have the Paper Island. The Paper Island is not officially constructed. Over here, we have a building that looks like something from Star Wars. Well, it isn't. It's Danish Opera House. It opened in 2005, and it was a donation from a company called A.K. Møller Mærsk, whom I'll tell you about later. Inside of this Disney is going to make a live-action remake of The Little Mermaid, so the terrors never stop with this poor little baby. Okay, over here you can see a very tall spire. That belongs to the Church of St. Alban in Denmark. And this church was actually built in 1887, but a princess in Wales who was of the heritage had tried to build it for much, much longer. However, that wasn't possible, because as a good story, there's a good explanation to it. So, we were a very small country with no natural resources and surrounded by water. So Denmark very quickly became good at being underwater, because that's pretty much all we could do. That's also why we went around the rest of the world and stole what they had, mainly England. That's what the Vikings did. And once they got back from all of their adventures, the women were waiting. They were like, oh, welcome home, guys. We have done everything while you were away. And the Vikings were like, yeah, no, we're going to control again. And the women went, no way, dude. So that's also why we have so much equality between the genders here in Scandinavia, because the women would control everything while the men were away for so long. And yeah, so that's why actually ships and navy is so important here in Denmark. Also why our queen got married in a sailor's church, because women, sailors are just that important here in Denmark. Every year when the Queen makes a speech to the nation, she will address the sailors and say she hopes they have a safe trip wherever they are going. So you can see it is very, very important with ships here in Denmark. This palace, you can see, has 4 chimneys. That's where the Crown Prince Frederik X lives. And Frederik, he is a good guy. I've never in all my life heard anybody speak badly about Frederik. Frederik, he used to be a big playboy. He drove around in fast cars way past the speed limit. But now we're coming to the Canal of Christian, and the Christian in question is Christian IV, the most influential king who ever lived here in Denmark. Christian became king at the age of only 11 years old. Can you imagine? Yeah, some of us live in countries with 50-year-old politicians acting like they are 11, and he was 11 acting like come up with a name yet. I'm thinking trolley, a blue troll called Trolley. I think it makes a lot of sense. Now, let's see.
Over there on the right.
Is that it slopes or tilts 7 degrees. So when the sun is in the right position, the water will actually reflect the sun onto the building and make it shine like a true black diamond. Very, very. Instead, it's supposed to look like Legos. Lego is a Danish toy invented in 1932. So you can imagine that all of the architects working in there actually started building the first buildings when they were children with Legos. And I think it's such a cute idea. And that probably makes it my favorite building on the entire trip personally. Now, we're coming to the next bridge, so please remain seated. If you want the background story on Lego, the story was that a father was very tired of his kid never having anything to do. He was always complaining like, oh, I don't know what to do, I'm bored, I'm this, I'm that, I want a house, I want a car, I want this. And so the father came up with the Lego and said, now you can do whatever you want. Make a car, make a house, make a horse, just leave me alone and go play. And so that is the story of Lego. And for those that don't know, and most Danish people don't even know this, the word Lego is a conjunction of 2 Danish words, like godt, which means play well. So, yeah. Now we're coming to the next bridge, so please remain. There is no sewage system here in Denmark, meaning it was almost impossible to get clean drinking water. And there were a lot of stories that were heard in Danish schools about how bad the smell would be in the summer. The Marble Bridge is the last thing remaining from a great fire that burned down half of Copenhagen in 1795. Look how beautiful this bridge is. If this is how Copenhagen looked, I would really have liked to be there. So guys, now we're coming to the next bridge, and that means we're picking up the tour once again. This bridge is called the Circle Bridge, and the intention of the architect was to make people speak to each other when they were on this bridge. According to him, Danish people don't speak enough to each other in public. And I hear a lot of tourists telling me, well, it's actually pretty difficult to speak to Danish people. How do you do it? They never talk. And I say, well, I'm half Italian. I really don't have that problem, as you can hear. But if you want a good advice on how to speak to Danish people, it's fairly easy. This is what you do. You bring beer. If you bring beer, I assure you Danish people will speak for hours on end without any trouble at all. It's a safe bet. Now, in front of us... So, okay, first of all, now we're coming to the Orange Building. That's the Museum of Thorvaldsen. He was the best sculptor who ever lived in Denmark. He got into the Danish School of Arts at only 11 years old. Then he spent I don't know what they put in the beer back then, but apparently everyone was a genius at 11. So he then spent 40 years in Rome, and the Italians gave him the highest honor they possibly could. They let him be the only non-Italian person in all of the world who has got his art inside of the Vatican, because he is he made the tomb for Pope Pius VII of the church. So that is a very, very big honor, I can assure you, as the son of an Italian. My father still calls me way too soon and asks me if I've gotten out into the Vatican. Now, Copenhagen had been a real city hundreds of years before, during the Viking Ages. And actually, there have been people here in Copenhagen ever since the Stone Ages. Yeah, if you don't quite remember, when was the Stone Age? That's when Fred Flintstone was alive with the dinosaurs a lot of years ago, I assure you. Now we're coming to the last bridge, so everybody please sit down. And this makes the end of the tour. So guys, please remember your stuff, please use the trash cans.